wanted to do something completely different with this one. So it's set in the year 2022. I mean, I suppose the last play that I did in 2010 was very recession based, and I wanted to do something a bit different. So the idea is to base it in the future when Ireland is on the verge of another economic miracle. We call them miracles. Bertie Ahern is about to complete the greatest political comeback in the history of politics and become Taoiseach again at the age of 71. And Ross's daughter arrives home from the local nightclub with a 17-year-old called Traylock, who is essentially a young Ross O'Carroll Kelly.
A young Russell preview, because the opening monologue has been part of it has been recorded for us. So let's have a listen. This is Ross. His ego is pretty much undiminished.
All those people who said my looks would fade when I hit my 40s, they're looking pretty stupid today. All those birds whose hearts got trampled under my famous size 10 dubs, who swore that one day I'd get my basic comeuppance, well, they've been well and truly disappointed. I think it's pretty obvious to one and all that I am still one handsome man. Yeah, it's my birthday this week, the big 4-2, and it has to be said that life has turned out pretty well for the old Rossmeister General. I've got an amazing son who, sadly, never did play rugby for Ireland. But he plays soccer for some crowd in Scotland called Celtic, and he's given me 9 beautiful grandchildren. I've got a beautiful teenage daughter who hates my basic guts, but she hasn't made a serious attempt on my life since she poured Sillet Bang in my lobster bisque at the age of 10. I'm the managing director of Ireland's 7th largest document disposal company. I'm still married to the woman of my dreams, and between me and you, I still do all right on the side. A lot of my divorced friends, they come to me and say, dude, what's your secret? How have you and Surika managed to stay together for like more than 20 years? And the answer is simple. 2 mobile phones. Oh yes, the secret of a happy marriage is to keep your love life and your married life totally separate.
This can only end in tears.
Oh, there will be many, many tears before the end. I hope a lot of well, yeah.
A question here, very quickly on the text screen. Is Ross O'Carroll Kelly in the new play Breaking Dad going to Cork?
I hope so, yeah. What's happened with the previous 2 plays was we premiered them in Dublin, and then when they came back, then we brought them to Cork. So I hope it will come. We played the Opera House twice before, so I would love to think we'll be back there again.
Now, you're known for your comic writing these days, but in fact, Ross, when he started, was just a bit of a diversion for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I was a sports journalist for
an award-winning
sports
journalist.
You know, I didn't like to say, but thanks, Pat. But yeah, and I mean, Ross was what I did on a Friday afternoon. I mean, our deadlines were lunchtime on a Friday, and that's when I had to deliver what I considered my serious work of the week. And then you kind of had to hang around until 5 or 6 until your piece was edited. So I generally had about sort of 3 or 4 hours on a Friday afternoon, and I invented this character, Ross O'Carroll Kelly, just as a bit of fun, really. You know, it was to kill a couple of hours.
Obviously, it was rooted in certain observable truths.
Yeah, I mean, I had covered schools rugby for the Irish Independent and for the Irish Times when I was a stringer, back when I was cutting my teeth as a sports journalist, and I wasn't that interested in rugby growing up. I didn't have any interest at all, actually, and I didn't know a lot about it. And I think I was from, I would say, it's a soccer background. Because I was going to rugby matches as a cold, I had no idea of this, all of the sort of social setting that these rugby matches took place in. So, I'd go to a game and there would be 2,000 fans at a school's rugby match. It was amazing to me, and I suppose a lot of it was when I came to write Ross by osmosis. And
I found it extraordinary when I first worked in Donnybrook with RTE and over the years, and you'd see these business people in their Crombie overcoats turning up for schools rugby matches,
because they never leave school, really. And I think it's a nice thing, that the allegiances they have when they're 17, they keep them
right through their lives.
Through the lives. And I have a friend, and he's he went to Blackrock, and he broke his leg, and he's probably 60, and he went along the leg was set, I think, in the Blackrock Clinic, but the surgeon who did it recognised him as somebody he played against when he was playing for Terranure and he was in Blackrock, and he set the plaster in the Terranure colours. So so this is sort of 40 years after they last saw each other, and it's still a source of amusement between them. This sort of school rivalry thing.
The accent, like some credit you with actually inventing the Dort accent.
Yeah, well, I certainly didn't invent it. I hope I didn't. I hope that isn't my legacy. But I think there was always a Dort accent, what I would have recognised as a kind of Bob Geldof accent. Mm-hmm. I think what's happened in the last sort of 10 to 15 years is it's no longer what we considered a D4 accent. It's no longer a geographical thing. It's an everywhere accent now. So there are people in Cork.
It's a state of mind accent rather than...
It's a state of nirvana accent, probably. So people in Cork talk in this way. I mean, I think it's probably influenced more by American popular culture, American television, than by me. So it's not, I mean, the Bob Geldof accent, as I would have kind of heard it growing up, it's become a little bit Americanized. So there's elements of that sort of hey now brown K type of English that they teach in schools, Rindabite, and then there's the raising of the intonation of your sentence at the end, so it sounds like a question when it's not a question.
Are you going home? Well, that is a question, yeah.
But statements of fact.
My shoes are red?
Yeah. So that they call it, in Australia, they call it the HRTs, the high-rise thermals. All the sentences go upward at the end, upspeak.
Ross, I mean, are you going to follow him into his dotage?
I don't know. I suppose now I've been writing Ross for 16 years this month. I started it in 1998, and interestingly, when I started writing Ross O'Carroll Kelly, Brian O'Driscoll was playing Leinster School's Senior Cup rugby. He was at school, and now he's about to retire. So I suppose that's the span of Ross's life, somebody else's rugby career, his hero's rugby career. But I love writing the Ross books. I'm writing it's coming out in October, the next Ross book at the moment. And
what's
I'm just
the conceit
so
of that one?
Well, Ross's friend Fionn has been kidnapped while working as a teacher in Uganda. He's been kidnapped by a criminal gang and is being held for ransom. And Ross and the members of the Castleknock College 1999 Leinster School Senior Cup winning team go to Uganda to try to find him. And I'm having a lot of fun.
Actually, shades of an item we had earlier this morning.
Yeah,
Richard
I was
Quarry,
interested when I heard it,
to rescue his son Ethan. Anyway, you had already started the book long before you heard Richard Quarry's story.
Yeah. And these things tend to happen. Like sometimes I'll write about something and then 6 months later I'll hear about an item that, this kind of crossover happens, Yeah.
So Bertie Ahern better get himself in fit political shape for his comeback.
It's 2022. Yeah, he has a few years actually. He's 8 years. Yeah.
All right. So it's opening in the Gaiety in April,
the 25th of April, and it runs for 3 weeks until the 17th of May.
All right, and thereafter, who knows? Maybe to Cork. And,
who knows?
And places beyond.
I hope so. Yeah.
Please come to Limerick. Love studying Ross as part of my English degree at Mary Immaculate College. There's posh.
I have been to a Mary Immaculate College to speak to the students there. Yeah, it's
huge fan since. Either come to speak or bring your show, please. You have so many fans here. That's good
nice
to hear. Isn't
it? It is. Yeah.
So there you are. But you're now on the course.
I suppose. I do occasionally get requests from people to talk to students, and it is a strange thing to think that people are studying Ross and studying his behaviour patterns.
I suspect in years to come there will be theses written on the contrast between Roddy Doyle's Barrytown and Ross O'Carroll Kelly's Fox Rock.
Yeah,
and what constitutes Dublin in the late 20th, early 21st century.
Yeah, they are. I suppose they are their own little
Polar
worlds,
opposites, really.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, look, Paul Howard, author of Everything Ross O'Carroll Kelly, thank you very much for joining us in studio today.